What's up, YouTube? Slim here, Team Symmetry, here with, I guess, just a little bit of an update video. I'm actually not going to be doing like a, normal update video, where I talk to you guys directly. This video is just going to be on the regionals that took place yesterday in San Jose. It was May 5th, of course, it was Cinco de Mayo, and I just want to cut to the chase. I did get my invite, you guys, finally. I actually stuck through it and actually went and followed through and got my invite. And most likely I will be going to nationals. I had not planned on going at first, and due to certain circumstances, I wasn't sure if I was able to. It's still a little up in the air, but it is looking quite positive that I probably will go. It's just a matter of saving money, just doing some smart things. So hopefully I will be there. I would love to be there. I'd love to record, get some amazing footage for you guys, and just for the overall experience of going to a nationals and being in the presence of some of, I think, this game's best players. So enough of that. This is just a little bit of a reflection on how, the matches went yesterday. This was, entering with no priority. Priority was gone. And, of course, I did run the bunnies. Now, I'm not going to show you guys, the bunny deck. There was nothing really unique about it. The only things I'd like to mention about it are, I think a couple things was that 3 Forbidden Lance, believe it or not, for me, it didn't really seem to do that well. 2 was honestly all I needed, and it was pretty interesting. I thought the third one would make a difference. A lot of times I'd draw it, I'd set it, get MST'd, and I really didn't need it. But, I was glad I had it. Having the third Lance was kind of up in the air for me. It was just, I guess, how the games went. This card, a lot of people weren't maining it, saying it was bad. This card actually did put in a lot of work. I was able to stall out with this card. I used it when I played against Inzectors. I used it when I played against Random Machina and, just other stuff. This card isn't as good as it used to be, but it still does put in a lot of work if you know how to use it properly. I think the best thing that this did for the regionals was stopping tour guide. Stopping tour guide, Guaiba, it was great just in that sense. But Valor does the same thing. But it's okay right now. And there goes my Skype, of course. But that's pretty much it on Fiendish Chain. It's still okay. I still like it, and I think 1 to 2 is still fine depending on what deck you run. I guess the last thing, 3 Valor made a difference for sure. Only against Inzectors and against a couple other rogue decks. I'll be getting into my matches, but sometimes they're really dead against, other rogue decks. So, you can always side them out. But 3 has definitely become a staple, and I definitely saw a lot of that at this regional. I just want to, before, I get into it, I want to, give a big shout out to my friend Andre, who went undefeated the entire day and made it, to top 8. I believe he made it to top 4. He was also running Dino Rabbit, and it's because of him that I feel that I really went as far as I did. Him and I have been working on the deck for the last couple of weeks, and when I was about to switch and go to another deck, he, knocked some sense to me and said, this deck is still really good. You just have to, know how to play the deck, play a different way, and, make your side deck really versatile to the meta. So, big shout out to him, one of the best players I know, one of the nicest people I know, and one of the most humble players you'll probably ever meet. So, big shout out to him. Congrats for doing as well as you did, and for really, just doing your best with Dino Rabbit. So, shout out to him. So my matches were interesting, you guys. I went into this event thinking, this is NorCal, I'm going to play nothing but Inzectors, Dragons, Dark World, Heroes. And I was pretty much spot on, but what's kind of funny is I had said to a couple friends the day before, I'm like, watch, I'm going to play Dragons round 1. Sure enough, I do play Dragons round 1. I ended up playing, of all people, one of my friends actually from Richmond. So this is interesting. Not from San Francisco, from where I stay at in Richmond. I actually played one of my friends round 1, and of course it was against Dragons, and I was like, of course, it's going to start like this. I got to take down the big beaters. I did open pretty well game 1, and I have to say the cards that really won it for me. There were 2 cards in particular for both matches that literally won it for me, and they were, there goes Skype again, they were definitely Gores and Monster Reborn. Where did I even put my Reborn? Oh, there's, yeah. These 2 cards. I Reborn to BLS. I, dropped Gores after getting hit for 28. And, Reborn, I did it both games, and it really made a big difference. A Chaos Sorcerer did hit me with an effect, and, went to Graves, I Reborned it again. So, I mean, these 2 cards won me the first match. Second match was against Machina, you guys, and I was not thinking Machina was still being played until I realized that, yeah, it's totally viable at this time. And honestly, it was a crazy match. It was really interesting. Because once again, I knew the guy I was playing, and I couldn't believe, he ended with Machina. And, I won game 1 because, Rabbit does what it does if you go first and win the die roll. And, game 2, he got me. And then game 2 and game 3, the card that won it for me was Electric Virus, you guys. I did side 1 Electric Virus. People forget, this can take machines. He would summon Gear Frame, he would, ditch to summon Fortress, he would hit me for 25, he'd equipped the Gear Frame. During my turn, I summoned Sabersaurus, set a back row, used Electric Virus, took the Fortress, and attacked with both for game. So this card won me game 2. And it was kind of cool after game 2. I had he was probably no older than 10 years old or whatever. He came up to me and said, "Will you sign my card for me?" So I got to sign a Stardust, you guys. So that was pretty cool. Thumbs up for that. That was pretty cool, you guys. It really, the day had just kind of begun, but it really just set me in just like a really good mood for the rest of the day. That I had supporters there even as young as 10 that really enjoyed my content. It really meant a lot to me that would happen. The rest of my matches, round 3, I played my friend Sean in SF. He was running dragons too, so there we go. Already round 3, already 2 dragons. I was able to beat him, and yeah, it was crazy though. Dragons are something else. Like, I knew dragons were going to be there, and I was prepared. The next round was against Gravekeeper, which I actually did lose. I got a really bad ruling from 2 judges, and it really kind of, it pissed me off afterwards. The ruling of where you bring out the Cobazols with Rabbit, and, one of them was booked before I declared to exceed. And, I hit for 17, and then, I sent my face-up one to the graveyard, and my opponent said, "Well, you have to send the other one too." And I'm like, "No, I don't. It's flip face down, it resets." We called the judges over. 2 judges ruled against me, and, I tried to appeal it. There was to no avail, and I ended up losing both Cobazols, and it totally sucked because then my field was left wide open, and that's how I would have 2-0'd that match, and because of that, we go to game 3. I opened 3 Cobazols and a Rabbit. I get Royal Tributed. I activate Solemn Judgment because I can't lose that much. He flips Dark Bribe. I draw again. He Royal Tributes again, which was, I couldn't even believe it because I ended up losing like my whole hand, and I drew a Reborn, so it was GG. But Gravekeeper, definitely an interesting deck. Definitely a good meta call on his part, I have to admit, because they do shut down Inzectors. So the next round after that, I believe, was, I want to say it was Dragons again. Was it Dragons again? It might, yeah, I think it actually was Dragons again. It was either Dragons or it was, no, it was Inzector. Oh, I played against Inzector. I was able to 2-0 it. We just really, the first game was really slow rolled. Like, nothing went off. I didn't draw Rabbit. I ended up having to summon, game 1 I won with Rabbit. Game 2 was really slow rolled because I knew he set Snowman Eater. I attacked into it with Sabersaurus, lost the Sabersaurus, brought out another Sabersaurus. He ended up having Book of Moon, so he booked it back. I summoned another Dino. He flips Gozen Match. Oh no, he flips Rivalry of the Warlord, not even Gozen Match, and we just slow rolled it. I prohibitioned his Hornet, so he, we really had a slow rolled game. And then it came down to he dualitied. He took Heavy Storm. He Heavy Stormed to be able to get his Hornet. I had drawn to 2 Veilers by that time, so I was able to still Veiler, come back, get my Laggy Adolka off, and I was able to come back and win that one. So that was my only Inzector match of the day, which I was shocked. I expected to play a lot more Inzectors, but it didn't happen. The next game was I believe Dragons again. I ended up playing my friend Yuki. If you guys know Yuki from Team Purple Panda, I ended up playing him, and it was really interesting because I've actually never played him like in an actual event, and he was running Dragons of all things. I expected like a Dino Rabbit Mirror, Inzector, something, and it was Dragons. And what I have to say is that Rabbit does what it does game 1 to lock down control, but game 2, the MVB card that was in my side deck, thanks to Andre, was Kaiku, and this card single-handedly won me that game, that match, because I summoned it, knocked out 2 of the dragons that were engraved, and left nothing but the Eclipse Wyvern in there. And then I brought another one. I was able to hit with both, using Smashing to clear the field, hit with both, remove the targets, and then a couple turns later, draw a Rabbit and secure a Lagia for game. But this was definitely the MVP, and definitely a great card in general to have in the sideboard. And the next couple rounds were, I'm trying to remember, the next round was Damn, I can't even remember, you guys. I just know. Oh, I did eventually play dragons again at top tables. I played against one of the BAM players, and he did what dragons do. Like, I got smacked. I didn't get 2-0'd. I was able to win game 2, but game 3 I opened double Sabersaurus, no rabbit, barely any protection, and I didn't draw any of my side deck cards. And he unleashed like the Wrath of God with those dragons. Really cool player though. I believe his name was I think it was David Sambo or something like that. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Shout out to Team BAMS. Really professional player. When he had no targets for his Eclipse Wyvern, he verified. He actually showed me his entire deck to verify. I've never had that happen in a match before. Big shout out to him for being an extremely respectable player. And that was even though I did lose, I still shook his hand. I said, thank you for being respectful and actually, doing what a lot of players don't do. So that was believe it or not, that was the highlight of the match, even though it wasn't a win for me. I went on to win, I believe it was like the other 2 rounds. I played Dino Rabbit Mirror. I was able to win. Game 1 I lost. Game 2 and 3 I won. It was nothing special. Dino Rabbit is Dino Rabbit in the mirror. It's nothing fun. And then the last round, I ended up playing against a player, I believe from Sacramento. I didn't actually really know his name. I couldn't pronounce it. And he was playing Agents, of all decks. And, I won game 1, doing what Rabbit does. Game 2, I opened, believe it or not, triple Rabbit. And everyone thinks, oh my god, you win. And then I drew a vanilla, and I was like, all right. He went first. And, he set up, and, I was like, fuck it, my Rabbit's my only monster. So, summoned it, banished, he Torrentials, or Bottomless, I don't remember, it was something. I didn't have MST, I didn't have a Lance, and it was like, fuck it, you have to do what you have to do. And, I lost those targets, and then I drew the last target for Rabbit, and I was like, wow, the Rabbits are dead. And I had to set Rabbit, had to set them, and tried to stall, and it just wasn't enough. So I ended up losing that. And then the last round, I drew like all vanillas, and he ripped a Heavy Storm off the top, and I had no way of coming back. But really good player, really good deck. I didn't expect Agents at all, but I still ended up. I won all my tiebreakers, so I still did make the cut to get my invite. But it was a really interesting regional. I think it was about 400 people. It wasn't super big, but it was still cool. And yeah, so that was pretty much it. I was happy I was able to get my invite though with the bunnies. I think I could have done better. I just really lost to bad draws. Like, I don't think any of my plays were really bad the whole time. But when you draw vanillas, like, honestly, it's really hard to play out. I mean, a couple times I was able to play out of that, but against decks like dragons, you draw vanillas, you're just not going to win. Like, it's a known fact. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that one. I think the last things I'll go over with you guys is just what side deck choices I made and why, they were so effective against, like, the meta, what the NorCal meta, I guess, is for the regionals. This is probably something that, like, in locals, if the locals are as competitive as the regionals are, you'll find stuff pretty standard. Snowman Eaters, they destroy stuff. MVP, beyond belief, Kaiku, shuts down so many decks. People forget it hurts Dark World, it hurts dragons, it kills heroes because you prevent them from using Miracle Fusion, and if you can remove the targets beforehand, you're already in a winning position. Plus, it's kind of hard to answer. 1800, if you can protect it, you're good. Let's see, in my side, I only used this a couple times, Forbidden Chalice, but I was glad it was in there. It helped me get over a Jellin duo, which was important. I ended up siding these over Chain Disappearances because Chain Disappearance to me was only hitting a couple decks. Yes, you could hit Rabbit. Yes, you could hit Torguide. Yes, you could hit Insectors with Chain Disappearance, but this could hit every deck in the playing field. So it's like, once I knew what I was playing against, I just had to call the key card. I used it against Insectors called Hornet, and that's what won it for me because I was able to stall out till I drew Veilers. They Heavy Storm, and I was able to Veiler when the Insectors tried to go off. So definitely a really good card. One Smash for dragons and all that. Deep Prisons for heroes, which I didn't play any of. Dragons, Rabbit, all that stuff. Still a decent card. I still like Bottomless better though, but it was still good. 3 Macrocosmos, of course, self-explanatory for Dark World and what do you call it? Insector, and then the one Electric Virus that actually made a big difference and won me that Machina game, and I also did use it against dragons to push for games, so still a good card, still like it at 1. 1's good enough, but yeah, so that's pretty much it, you guys. Oh, and I guess like the last, I guess, XYZ MVP. was definitely this little guy. In my match against Yuki, the way I won was he had made a Zen mains, and I summoned this thing off a tour guide because it resolved. I used its effect to detach. This went up to 22. I smashed. The second target was gone. Attacked over it, attacked with the 2 dinos, made a Lagia, and that's how I was able to secure that win. So this card's really good. If you guys aren't putting this in your extra deck and you are able to make rank 3s, you definitely need to put this in here. I didn't put this in until like the day before, and I'm very happy I did because it was able to help me win a game. So definitely a good card. You know, check it out. Tempo, the percussion Dijin, great card. So that's pretty much it, you guys. That's all I really wanted to talk about. I'll be having my next Slim Psychology video going up soon. And like I said, I am trying to go to nationals, so, you know, comment below if you're going to nationals. You know, let me know what you think the nationals format's going to be like, since, you know, Inzectors are going to have the new Ladybug. They'll probably be the top deck and the deck to beat. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Once again, you know, shout out to Andre for doing so well. Shout out to Kenson, who I believe made it to top 2 with Inzectors. You know, shout out to my friend Gabriel Perez with his team. Sweet Danny Gorn, SDC. I'm gonna have an annotation below. You know, just shout out to a couple of people. You know, just thanks for great regionals. You know, that was the last regionals of the season, so now we're just gonna have to start and just practice for the next season. So that's pretty much it, you guys. Hope you guys like this video. I just wanted to give you guys a general idea of what regionals was like and what the format was like in general. So that's all I gotta say, you guys. Thank you for watching.